Hey everyone, welcome to Wax Pack Wisdom, where we talk baseball and football history through card breaks and the cards we love. My name is Jake T. O'Donnell. This episode, we are opening this pack of 1991 NFL football Upper Deck. It's a high number series. Find the Namath. Maybe we'll find a Namath in here. Let's see what we got. Let's just open it up and let's see who we find from this era of pro football. It's more of a foil pack than a wax pack, which is always fun with Upper Deck in this era. It is a good feel. I love ripping this, but it's a little bit harder to open sometimes. All right, let's see what we got. Okay, drop the wax pack. We'll pick it up later. John Alt. I don't know anything about John Alt, but he looks like a big, mean offensive tackle. And when I say big, I mean big. 6'8", born in Germany. Started 54 of the last 55 games in the NFL. And he was the 21st overall pick in the 1984 draft. 6'8". This is huge. Huge man. And there you go. So John Alt. Robin Stark, punter. And punters usually hold the kicks. So there you see Ron Stark. I'm not really sure. But anyway, there's Ron Stark. Dan Saluamua. Dan Saluamua. Nose tackle for the Kansas City Chiefs. And went to Arizona State. Also played for the Lions. There you go. Tim Green, I think, was a long time defensive end. He's on the phone. He's maybe ordering a pizza or something. No, he's on the phone with the defensive coordinator at that point. And there's a nice tackle of him, or a nice picture of him just destroying a dude in a tackle. Nice. Tim Green, I think, was a pretty good player. All right. Scott Davis getting some oxygen. I love that look. This is a football player. This is a football player card and a football player look, if there ever was one. Beaten up on the sideline, getting some oxygen after making some big plays, and then there he is, looks to be celebrating a victory with the Raiders crowd. At this point, I think maybe they were in Los Angeles. Maybe they were in Los Angeles, and maybe they were about to move back to Oakland before ending up where they are now. Finished second on the team in sacks. So there you go. Scott Davis. Brett Maxey from the Saints. I don't know that this was the best era of the Saints. Aaron Cox, wide receiver for the Rams. This is before their great era in the late 90s, but kind of an interesting guy. Dave Meggett. We're just going to skip over Dave Meggett. Mark Collins. Good era for the or they're kind of going into a good era for the Giants. And well, actually, I don't know. The 90s were kind of okay. So the Giants had a great era in the late 80s going into the early 90s, and then I think it was a little bit lean for a few years. But Mark Collins was there. Was on those teams that were Super Bowl contending teams. So there you go. I don't know a ton about Mike Rozier, running back. So he played at Nebraska. So he might be, I'm not sure if he's the Mike Rozier that I'm thinking of, who was like the Heisman. Was there a Mike Rozier who was a Heisman Trophy winner? Might be him. Could be wrong. Sterling Sharp. His brother, the better-known player, that would be Shannon Sharp, one of the greatest tight ends ever. Sterling Sharp spent years on television after his playing career was over. And then the last card, I kept thinking to myself, this pack is a little bit of a dud. But then the final card is Joe Montana. In fact, there's 3 Joe Montanas. I don't know if that's allowed. They Upper Deck was able to make 3 Joe Montanas for this card. What can we say about Joe Montana? Possibly, certainly the argument can be made the greatest quarterback ever. I think that there's a kid that grew up idolizing Joe Montana by the name of Tom Brady, who could more likely lay claim. Joe Montana was in the Super Bowl. I believe he won it 4 times. He never lost a Super Bowl, and was the person calling the signals of one of the great dynasties in the history of the NFL in the 1980s with the 49ers. This would be right at the end of his run, and right after this, he went to the Chiefs for a couple of years, and then he called it a career. But Joe Montana was a hero to millions, and one of the all-time, certainly, no matter what you would say, whether you think he's the best or not, definitely in the top 5, possibly in the top 2, possibly in the top 1. So that's a great card to end on, and a really nice pull for the end of this pack. So that's going to do it for this edition of Waxpack Wisdom. Tell us what you thought about this break. What's your favorite card that we pulled today? Do you have a story about one of the players in this pack? Let us know what you think. Leave us a comment and let us know. We'd love to hear it. If you enjoyed this video, we'd invite you to give it a like and subscribe to our channel so you don't miss any of our Waxpack Wisdom content. In the video description, you can find links to where to follow Waxpack Wisdom on all social media channels. You'll also find a link to a list of our favorite nonprofits and charities. If you enjoyed this video, please consider a donation to one of those organizations. It would mean a lot to us. Thanks very much for watching, and we'll see you next time on Waxpack Wisdom. Take care.